in Bharat. Reports also suggest that the government is looking at reducing the customs duty to 15% for all EVs or electric vehicles. Tesla has approached New Delhi seeking an initial tariff cut to offset the high customs duties in our country. But before we set up debate number one, big news coming in from Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen. Bushra Bibi, wife of jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan, may find herself in serious trouble in the near future, including being jailed in an alleged corruption case. Bushra Bibi's name has been now included in the exit control list after a formal request by the National Accountability Bureau. Bushra Bibi appeared before the NAB earlier in the day and she was asked about her connection with Farah Gogi. She was also asked why she was made why she made the Al Qadr Trust and became a member of that trust. According to sources, the NAB is in possession of some important evidence against her, and if they are proven, she will be arrested. Now, this will be a major jolt to Imran Khan and his party in the upcoming elections in 2024, and according to sources, the NAB is in possession of some more fresh evidence which are against Bushra Bibi and that confirm her role in the corruption matter. These evidences against her actually will change her from witness to an accused. And according to sources, she's been involved in illegal transactions and money has been transferred to her extended family. Government sources are alleging that Bushra Bibi's close aide did massive corruption during the PTI regime. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a betting app, and that scam over 4 to 5 years through the COVID period has evolved into a 5,000 crore plus scam. There are charges, political charges that are being traded between the BJP and the Congress in peak election season in Chhattisgarh. But what's startling is the narco-terror angle, the links to dubious elements, and that this money perhaps found its way into pushing narcotics and also narcotics-backed terrorism into our soil. So corruption and also compromising Bharat is our debate number one.
कांग्रेस के इन गणितबाजों को बताना होगा कि मुख्यमंत्री को इसमें कितना पैसा हिस्सा मिला है और दिल्ली दरबार तक इसमें से कितना माल पहुंचा है।
करना है तो हेमंत विश्व शर्मा के खिलाफ कर ले, अजित पवार के खिलाफ कर ले, और जो लोग जो मोदी वाशिंग पाउडर में धुल के आए ना उसको पहले कार्रवाई कर ले, उसके बाद फिर बात करें।
The case that started with a lavish 250 crore wedding in Dubai has now turned into a murkier scandal that seems to be compromising Bharat's security. The Mahadev betting app seems to be dominating Chhattisgarh elections too, as the BJP is accusing the Congress government of being hand in glove with the scamsters, and the Grand Old Party denying allegations against them. The probe in the Mahadev app scam is only gaining momentum after the Enforcement Directorate and Chhattisgarh Police, its Mumbai Police, that has registered an FIR in the matter and named Saurabh Chandrakar and his business partner Amit Sharma as the key accused. As per Mumbai Police FIR, Saurabh Chandrakar's business partner Amit Sharma is said to have links with Underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim's brother Mustafiz, and the money collected through this betting app was used to fund terror. Let's try and break this down, this exclusive news break here on CNN News 18 on the right stand. First up, let's try and understand who is Amit Sharma, who's been named in the FIR by the Mumbai Police. Amit Sharma is a Mumbai-based alliance partner of Saurabh Chandrakar's betting app business. Now, according to the FIR, Saurabh Chandrakar secured sponsorship agreement with an award show due to Amit Sharma. The FIR also mentions that Amit Sharma has Underworld connections and links to Daud's brother. The FIR states that Amit Sharma funded significant amounts for various construction projects in Mira Road at the instructions and advice of Daud's brother. So how the money was routed and what's the terror link that the Mumbai police is now currently probing? The FIR mentions that various cryptocurrency and other digital currency wallets and Benami accounts were being used to collect betting money. The FIR then mentions that this betting money was laundered to Saurabh Chandrakar and his partners. The FIR states that this money in turn was used for various illegal activities such as narco-terrorism and also procuring arms. Now remember, the Enforcement Directorate also probing the Mahadev app case, and during the course of its investigation, it unearthed the possible Underworld link. The ED at that time had alleged that Saurabh Chandrakar and Ravi Uppal were collaborating with members of the D Company. The Enforcement Directorate claims that collaboration was done to operate the Khelo Yaar betting app in Pakistan. The ED alleged that it was on the instructions of Dawood Ibrahim that Saurabh Chandrakar fronted Amit Sharma. Amit Sharma and Dawood Ibrahim's brother Mustaqim Ibrahim Kaskar became partners to operate this entire app. The probe agency disclosed this partnership back in 2021 amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Additionally, the ED has also revealed that Mustaqim Ibrahim Kaskar oversees the betting business in Pakistan. The ED claims that Mustaqim Ibrahim Kaskar provides protection and logistical support to Chandrakar's app and this entire business. As the probe widens, a political face-off is only escalating, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi leading the attack from the BJP, accusing the Congress and the Congress disposition in Chhattisgarh of cheating and looting the people of Chhattisgarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi questioning Bhupesh Baghel, asking him how much did the Chief Minister receive in this betting app scam, to which the Chief Minister has countered saying the Prime Minister must first act against the former Chief Minister Raman Singh himself, who's got allegations of corruption and charges of corruption against him. The PM on the one hand has questioned how much money did the Congress party leaders receive, to which Bhupesh Baghel has asked the PM to act against people like Himanta Biswa Sarma, Ajit Pawar, and also fired the entire washing machine bomb. PM Narendra Modi also said Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel's close aide is in jail and asked him to come clean on the corruption allegations. Bhupesh Baghel doubling down, countering the PM, saying that he should actually now take action against all those who are corrupt. Why be selective? This entire case, ladies and gentlemen, is not just of corruption, of looting people, of scamming people, but perhaps somewhere compromising national security, compromising Bharat. Let's dive into the debate.
Hello, Moto.
Joining us this evening, Ajay Alok, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Nirva Mehta, Editor-in-Chief, The Pamphlet, Kamru Chaudhary, who's the Congress leader, and Javed Ansari ji, senior journalist. Namaste, Shubh Deepavali to all of you. Greetings, festive greetings, and thank you very much. Jai Hind. My first question is to Mr. Ajay Alok. This washing powder jibe is something that everybody within the INDI alliance is trading or aiming at the BJP. Ajay Alok ji. So if Mr. Bhupesh Baghel is in the wrong, this scam's been going on for 4 to 5 years. How was nobody the wiser? And those who had allegations of corruption, when they joined the BJP, they come clean. This BJP washing powder jibe, how would you want to respond to that?
Well, Anand, today on your television and on the national television, Mr. Baghel made candid confession that why Prime Minister is acting when the question was raised on corruption and that he should come clean on the corruption charges. Then he said Prime Minister should also question his own people. That means he is admitting that, okay, I am corrupt, but Prime Minister should also question other corrupt people. So the candid admission of corruption of the Congress is not new. The Congress stands for corruption. And as far as the BJP Modi washing powder and all these stigmas they are just trying to attach on us, it's not going to help. Because you see, if there is an investigation going on, what's the problem if you are clean? What is your locus standi on corruption? I'll just recall your memory that when Hawala cases were pushed against Mr. Lal Krishna Advani, he resigned from Lok Sabha and he said that unless I come out clean, I'm not going to enter parliament. That was his character and the BJP's character. Now, on the other hand, we are seeing the Congress president the then Congress President Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, they are all out on bail in National Herald, but still continue to hold the Member of Parliament position. So this is the basic difference in the character of Congress and the character of BJP. And by merely putting an allegation and not proving it, it's not going to help. And all this National Herald and everything, all these cases were launched during the UPA regime, not our regime. What we are doing, we are just doing an investigation. And today, if you see the atmosphere in the country, it's quite different. Like if you talk of corruption, and if the Prime Minister says that I'll send jail to every corrupt, whosoever it may be, however big he or she may be, then suddenly people start shouting, ED, CBI. Why? If you have not done anything, just prove yourself. As far as Mahadev app goes, it becomes a real matter of concern. We have been raising this for the last 2 years. Now that ED has taken action, has made arrests, the whole Chief Minister office is in hand and gloves with Mahadev app people. And it's not being said by me or by the BJP. It is being said by their SP, their IPS officer, sitting SP of Karadda.
But the point is that this
in a sting operation, he admitted that he is the Chief Minister and the whole office knew about it.
Sting operation is not admissible in a court of law. These charges have to be proven in a court of law.
I'm not saying that.
My point is, sir, if you yourself name two leaders, there are two arguments here. You yourself name two leaders who you said are out on bail on corruption charges. But what has the government done? They are out on bail since 2015. Where have you pursued the case against these people if they are charged with corruption? 2015 to 2023. And you are yourself saying they are MPs in Parliament. You didn't pursue the case with them, against them. That charge stands against the government also, along with the litigant. Whoever is the litigant says the government is going slow. The government says the litigant is not pursuing the case. But within this ping pong, those who you are accusing of corruption and being out on bail have been elected by the people, which shows that the people, for the people, corruption does not actually matter. Does it actually matter? Until you act against them. Does it actually matter on ground? Or does it matter that you give 2,500 rupees per quintal and raise that to 3,500 rupees per quintal? Chawal matter karta hai, Mahadev app nahi. Is that true, Mr. Ajay Alok? And if you want to walk the talk on corruption, then the examples you take, have you acted on them as a government?
What we have acted on corruption is there for everyone to see. Like if you talk of ED, they always charge that ED is always for the opposition. Of all the cases lodged by ED, only 3% cases are against the political person, and the conviction rate is 90%. Now, if you talk that why we are not pursuing the case, this is the flaws in our judicial system for which we are coming out with new judicial reforms. What Mr. Amit Shah said. Like if I can recall you, the case of fodder scam was lodged against Lalu Yadav in 1995, and he got convicted in 2013. How long it took? 17 long years. This is the flaw of our judicial system, which I candidly admit, and we need to correct it as a government, and we are doing it. And that's why we have come up with the new judicial reform.
The charge of corruption will stick if the charge of corruption is proven and you walk the talk. The other aspect, Mr. Kamrup Chaudhary.
Yeah.
I may be corrupt, but do something against those who are also do something against others. Now, the BJP is alleging this is nothing but a tacit admission by Mr. Bhupesh Baghel that he is involved in corruption. Will you buy that? Will you accept? Or has the Congress said, let's normalize corruption and see if we can get away with it?
Anand, let us make this debate tonight into a very candid one. I'll raise some few points out here. And I would request Ajay Alak to answer to those questions. Basically, you need to understand the context of the entire case. The Mahadev app scam was not a just over the night scam that was happened in India. It's a multi-state, multinational scam. Multinationals are involved in this. The government of India, the Chhattisgarh government, Rajasthan government, all were investigating the cases out here. Now, just I'll name one person, Mugang Mishra. A close aide of Saurabh Chandrakar. He was a key accused in the Mahadev scam. Where was he arrested from? He was arrested from Mumbai under a complaint lodged by Pratapgarh police of Rajasthan. For what? For opening Benami accounts. In the name of innocent farmers, innocent poor people. Where did he get all those KYC documents out here? Your account gets frozen just because you were not able to submit your KYC on time. Now, do I fix the culpability of such a big scam on the Finance Minister of India? Is my logical questioning correct or wrong? You are to decide. Because you cannot link a scam happening in a particular state under the watchful eyes of the watchdogs of the finance ministry, and then you you want to shoot and scoot, link this entire scam to Bhupesh Singh Bagal in Chhattisgarh, a very clean and upright man. I know him personally. But the point here does not stop here. You see the nexus between the ED and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me just cite you an example. When the video was released of the approver in this particular case, who released that video? It was the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson releasing the video. But who released the statement? It is the ED releasing the statement. Now, you see the app has been running for the last 4 to 5 years. Now, why did the government ban this app in 2023? Why were they silent? Are we having a national crisis or a crisis in governance or crisis in our watchdog bodies? That they could not unearth a big scam like this happening to threaten the security, internal security of the country. When you link that with Dubai, with Dawood Ibrahim, with Pakistan, with India, God forbid what all this money would have been used for.
Yeah, but the allegation, Mr. Chaudhary, is that the money was coming back into the Congress party and the Congress leadership in Chhattisgarh. The allegation is that this money was coming back and a lot of this money was being rolled over for state leaders of the Congress party, and the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh was in the know. That is the allegation. That link with Mr. Chaudhary is a little poor. We'll go back to him in just a bit, the moment he's back with us. Nirva Mehta?
Yeah, so I feel that in this particular case, the silence of the party's top leadership, Congress's top leadership, is kind of deafening. None of them have come out and said that the law should take its course or the investigation should take its course. Rahul Gandhi shouts from the rooftop about imaginary scams which are not proven. There is absolutely no basis for his allegations when it comes to the Prime Minister. But when it comes to the Chief Minister of his own party, there is the owner of the app coming up and saying, admitting on camera, on record, that he has paid 508 crore rupees to the aid of the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel. But none of the party leadership, Priyanka Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Kharge, none of them are saying anything. The top leadership of the party taking a stand on Bhupesh Baghel and the allegations against him, which is kind of concerning. That when on one hand you want to talk about cases where the Supreme Court has said that there is no case on these allegations, all the so-called Rafale scams and all this, none of them have existed. But here is the owner of the app saying that I paid the money, I paid your leaders are corrupt, but Rahul Gandhi has nothing to say on it. So why this double standard? Why the hypocrisy from the party, the grand old party?
No, Anand, can I come in here for 10 seconds here?
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Kamrup, please.
No, basically the allegations of 508 crore getting into the hands of the Congress party is an allegation. Basically just 2 days before the first phase of Chhattisgarh elections, the entire this allegation came and linked Bhupesh Singh Baghel and the Congress party with this scam. Now 2 days are remaining for the second phase of the campaigning to be ending. Now you have the Prime Minister coming out. What does this suggest? A shoot and scoot attitude by the Bharatiya Janata Party and its star campaigners out here. If you have got a genuine proof for this, well, go ahead and arrest Mr. Baghelji. If you have got that much of proof of 508 crores landing into the hands of the Congress party, yeah, I could have been I could have flying to your studio every day in and out. The Congress party would have been sponsoring me. Now, I have got serious doubts that whether this money was used to fund those drugs coming into India which were seized in the Mundra port, and how much of the money, Mahadev app money, has landed into the coffers of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I make an allegation in your channel today that thousands of crores of Mahadev app's money landed into the BJP coffers. Now, will that be substantiated? I have to prove it. But had BJP the guts to prove what they say? After the election, Anandji, we and I and you will be sitting across the same channel and debating what happened to the Mahadev app. Nobody knows. As well,
So-
what happened
so
to the
you-
Sharada scam.
Okay,
Nobody knows.
let Mr. Ajay Alok answer that, and then I'll go to Javed Ansari ji. Javed ji, thank you for your patience. I'll come to you after Ajay Alok. Yes, Ajay ji, please respond to what Mr. Kamrup Chaudhary is saying.
Mr. Kamrup Chaudhary doesn't know what he's saying. He's saying it's an allegation made by the BJP. No, sir, it's not an allegation made by BJP. It's a work done by ED. The ED has released the statement. We have not released the video. It was in the public domain. Please check your facts right. Now, whether the Chief Minister is going to be sent to jail, please don't interrupt in between. Please don't interrupt in between. Have some courtesy. I was not speaking.
Mr. Kamrup
listen,
Chaudhary,
no.
Mr. Kamrup
First you
Chaudhary, it's the
understand.
two of you gentlemen.
video.
I have only one request. Please don't heckle each other. Let Mr. Ajay Alok complete, and then I'll give you your 1.5 minutes to respond. Please. So let him complete. Let's not speak over each
First
other.
of
Please,
all-
my request. Yes, Ajay Alok,
First
please.
of all, there is a legal process attached to it. BJP is no one to arrest anyone or to send to jail to anyone. It's the legal process of this country which does it. Now, when the allegation AD has got the statement from the accused that yes, 508 crores were paid to the Chief Minister, definitely CM is going to get a summon from ED. I hope he will not run away like Arvind Kejriwal. He will respond to ED. He will not avoid that. I hope so. And if the evidence against Chief Minister comes out, then naturally the agencies are going to work. They are going to frame charges and they're going to arrest. Where's the question? Where's the question of running around the mills that he just on one allegation agency should go and just arrest it? Lalu Yadav was arrested. The case was filed in 1996 by your Congress government, supported by the Congress government, the UDF government, and he was arrested all around in 98 when the evidences were found. So there is a legal process in this country. We don't run like Gandhi family. You know, the dictate of the family is the legal process of the country. So relax. Let the agency follow the rules. The bigger question here is why you are keeping quiet? Why Bhupesh Baghel is not answering on Mahadev app? Why your sitting
No, Mr.
SP
Baghel
has
Mr.
that the
Baghel
whole
has said that
Chief Minister's
we only raised the complaints, we have made arrests, and if there are people who are guilty, please go ask. I think Mr. Baghel has said that. But the larger question is, are people really looking the other way? Is corruption now a blind spot? Is corruption now being normalized? Has it just become
It's not a blind spot. I don't accept so. I don't think so. Corruption can be a blind spot in this country.
So it should not be. I'm just saying, has
I
it
don't
become?
think corruption
Because
can
of
be
the
a blind
fact,
spot in this
because
country.
of the fact that the allegations happen, sir, but the arrests and the convictions don't happen. That if you are making an allegation against the Chief Minister, then I keep going back to this, sir. People who have been alleged and who have been charged since 2015 were out on bail and they celebrated it on the streets of Delhi. No action has been taken against on that case. It's not moved forward in the last 7 years. People who are accused of corruption, the next day they join the BJP and that entire thing slows down. Corruption should be unpardonable, irrespective of who it is. You have to walk the talk. Are you really walking the talk? And especially now when this money is coming back in the form of drugs, it's coming back in the form of arms, and it's coming back in the form of terrorism being funded on our soil. That's the larger question. Javed Ansari ji, thank you for your patience. Please come in. Your thought.
Look, as a matter of principle, the questions that you've raised, the concerns that you've raised are very grave. They go beyond just mere corruption. It entails questions about national security. And this, by your own admission, has been going on for several years, 4 or 5 years, you said. What have the national agencies been doing? What has the government been doing? Why haven't they cracked down? How much of that money has been funneled to terrorists? How much of that money is being used to foment trouble against the country? If indeed there is some truth in this, then people should have been arrested. That conspiracy should have been unearthed. 1. 2 is the sheer timing of it. This has been going on for 5 years, but just 2 days before the first leg of the Chhattisgarh elections, this charge comes up against the Chief Minister. Now, on the 17th is the final round of voting in Chhattisgarh. You start naming the Chief Minister based on the alleged confessions of his aide in police custody. For one, whatever you confess in police custody is not admissible as evidence in court. 2, and if that is the basis, then what about the fact that in the Sahara's papers, Anand, you know this very well. In your previous avatar, you covered this vigorously. What about, was any action taken against anybody who was named in those things? There are a lot of people today who are are in very important positions in the government of India. They were named, not 1 rupee, not 508 crores, 5,000 crores, 15,000 crores. Was any action taken? What about action against the naturally corrupt party people? One day you name them, 48 hours later you make them deputy chief minister in Maharashtra. What about those TDP MPs who have now crossed over to BJP? When they were in TDP, every second day they were raided. The moment they crossed over to the BJP and became a part of the inner coterie of the number 2 person in the cabinet, they become whitewashed. So there is a certain amount of, whether by design or by accident, there is now a certain amount of credence to what people in the opposition and those not aligned either way say.
Whatever the political allegation, Javed Ansari, but that does not normalize corruption.
1 minute. That the application of law is selective. It's not uniform. And because it's not uniform, so people get away. They know that, okay, let's indulge in hanky-panky, we'll join the government, we'll put our shoulder behind the government's wheel, and we'll be safe. You know better than me how many people now enjoying the patronage of the government, previously accused of corruption, are now going away scot-free. They're doing it.
Now, Ajay Alok, please respond.
First of all, whatever Mr. Ansari has said, I have to firmly believe that this is not the case. Political biasness is a different story altogether, but on the cases of corruption, we have not gone slow on anyone. Naturally corrupt party, when the PM calls NCP, we still believe that the NCP is naturally corrupt party. As far as Mr. Ajit Pawar joining our government as a coalition partner, don't forget that in 2020, it was MVA government which gave him the clean chit. Still ED cases are going on against him in one of the cases, and he's still being investigated. Nothing slow process has taken place. As far as TMC leader, he came to our party, they said, all said कि BJP की washing machine में धुल गए. None of the cases have been withdrawn. The cases were continuing when he was in the BJP, and now since he has gone back to TMC, should I say that there is also a washing machine that they have taken him back? So this kind of political allegation does not solve the problem. The issue is, do you want to tackle corruption or not? On which we are on a very serious footnote that we will tackle the corruption. And the corrupt will have only one place, that is to land in the jail. As far as the process is taking so long, it's our judicial process, sir, which we are trying to reform. And this reform is giving pain to many people, that if this reform comes into place, things will move very fast. Because we firmly believe justice delayed is justice denied. So justice should be fast.
Sir, the point
That's
is...
what Mr. Amit Shah said when he was launching this.
There are multiple questions. If there is 508 crore in cash that's doing the rounds, then how much more cash is doing the rounds across our country post demonetization at a time when digital transactions are more than 400 billion, and Netas still believe that they can get away with this kind of corruption, and there are others, fraudsters, scamsters, who are looting common people, taking money via UPI, rerouting it, rolling it, and then moving this out of the country via Hawala, converting white into black, and then that comes back into the system again as hard cash. How is this happening? This round tripping is a big, big question. I thank you all for joining us. We've got to end this on this. Whether the people vote for corruption, vote against it, or they vote for other issues in Chhattisgarh, well, the ballot will decide. But this is a raging issue, ladies and gentlemen. Can corruption be normalized? A, and secondly, can that money be used to act against the interests of our country? And if that's happening, who should be accountable and who mustn't? We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we shift the spotlight altogether. The next 30 minutes, when we come back after the break, we talk cricket and Team India's fantastic, phenomenal run at the Cricket World Cup 2023. 9 undefeated games, marching into the semi-final, up against the Kiwis. What does the statistics or the numbers say? What do the numbers say? And what do our panel of experts say? Stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Co-powered by.
Of which we are seeing that the AQI has yet again deteriorated out here in the national capital and is yet again in the very, very poor category. Now today, the prediction from the IMD is that once the sun is out, the wind speeds are likely to pick up and these pollutants would yet again be washed away. And that is the only silver lining for the people out here in the national capital. But remember, over the next few days as well, the AQI is likely to remain in the poor to very poor category and in fact is likely to deteriorate yet again in the severe category as well because of the wind directions. Now what remains to be seen is to what new plans can the Delhi government and the Delhi administration make sure that they initially make and make sure that is implemented on the ground to the T so that some sort of immediate relief can be provided to the people out here in the national capital who have been suffering from this deteriorating air quality for at least the last 10 days. Currently, I am reporting from the pollution hotspot out here in the national capital, that is the Anand Vihar bus terminal. And if I could just show you in the visuals around here, the visibility is not as bad as it was expected. The AQI out here in the national capital remains to be in the very poor category, although the measures of GRAP 4 has been implemented. But yes, the manner in which the order of the Supreme Court of not bursting crackers was flouted by several people out here in the national capital, that has made sure that the AQI deteriorates yet again. But if you compare the AQI that is today, the very next day, post-Diwali, with the yesteryears, you can actually see that the AQI is not as bad as it was expected, and in fact, it has somewhere or the other been better than what it was last year at this time around. Also, what we have seen that yes, there were several people who had flouted the norms and had gone ahead and busted crackers through the night on the day of Diwali. But yes, today the AQI has definitely deteriorated, but it is not as bad as it can be seen. On the other hand, we have seen a lot of politics that has already started to happen in this entire matter. The opposition leaders are already coming on record and putting blame on the BJP leaders because they were the people who instigated people to go ahead and burst these crackers. So yes, the political blame game has already started. But if you speak about the AQI has definitely deteriorated post-Diwali, but it is not as bad as it was over the last many years, right after the day of Diwali. Currently, I am reporting from Akshardham temple, where I could just show you in the visuals around here that yet again today cloud of smog has yet again engulfed the national capital. Remember, over the weekend we saw that there were spells of rain, which meant that the AQI in the national capital had improved significantly. But post Diwali, yet again we are seeing that the AQI in the national capital has yet again deteriorated. The main reason behind this is being said to be the manner in which the norms were flouted by the residents of the national capital even after the orders of the Supreme Court, which meant that there was a blanket ban on bursting of any sort of crackers. That was flouted significantly out here in the national capital, and that is the reason why we are seeing that the AQI out here has yet again deteriorated. Over the next few days, the IMD predicts that the AQI might improve due to the wind conditions, but if you look at the longer run over the next 1 week, the AQI is yet again going to get back into the severe category, which means that it is yet again going to be a troublesome time for the people out here in the national capital region, where
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 9 wins on the trot. Cricket World Cup 2023 has been a dream run for Rohit Sharma and his team. Team India have stumped everybody. Clearly, odds-on favourites, stamping their authority across whoever has come their way. If 9 bowlers that were used in that match at the Chinnaswamy Stadium against the Netherlands could bundle the Dutch for just 250, there's something that's working that makes this team unstoppable. What is it? And will that juggernaut and will that roll on continue at the Wankhede? Mind you, 2011 it was at the Wankhede that 6 from Dhoni happened and India became World Cup champions. They did. It will be the same field. Let's go across and talk to those who know so much about cricket and who are so much more passionate than all of us as fans, because they've played the game, now they're watching the game, they've coached the teams, and now they're also fans along with being commentators and experts. Venkatesh Prasad with us and also Murli Karthik. Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. We're waiting for Jimmy Pa also to join us. Thank you very, very much. Venkatesh
Jai
Prasad.
Hind and happy Diwali
Shubh
to
Deepavali to
everyone.
all of you. Lovely. Now,
Oh, thank you
gentlemen.
very much. Happy Deepavali. We call it as Deepavali.
Yes.
Diwali.
Diwali, Deepavali.
Down south, it's Deepavali. Yes, of course.
Yeah, so all of us, three South Indians here, who have also plied their wares in the north, so saddling all of Bharat. So let's take this forward. 1996, if I remember correctly, was it? There, the off-stick of Amir Sohail was at the same stadium where the Netherlands were blown away by 9 different bowlers. Venkatesh Prasad, were you thinking when Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill and Virat Kohli were rolling their arm, gosh, you know, how this is a team that lost to a team that did not even qualify into to the World Cup, ahead of the World Cup. You were so critical of them. What's transformed in this group, Venkatesh Prasad?
I was not critical about the team, Anand. It was just maybe an individual or a couple of them. That's about it. Then, for obvious reasons, look, and that was mainly, because of their performance or their roles, especially which they were not performing to the best of their ability, and that was in a particular format that was mostly Test cricket, not one-day cricket, and to a certain extent, of course, T20. That criticism was on T20 as well because they were taking their own sweet time. And again, not being effective. So that's why the criticism was there. But otherwise, I think now going forward in this World Cup, I think they have gelled, together superbly well. They all have done their job, done their roles, to perfection. And not just about that, I think they're able to understand the situation and they're playing according to the situation. They've shown a lot of maturity, Anand. So I think hats off to not just the players, even the team management as well. The way they've handled the players, given them their freedom to express. So it's been wonderful, as you rightly mentioned. The juggernaut, it keeps on rolling, and pretty much every single game, other than the first game against Australia, I think every other game, I think it was pretty much, Indians won quite comprehensively.
Well, how much credit would you want to give Jamie for this? Because he copped a lot of criticism also in the run-up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, see, a couple of them were not sure about their spots, and there was always the discussion of number 4 and 5 batter, who's going to play that role, who's going to bat at number 4 or 5. They didn't have someone who could bring that stability in those numbers. Of course, 1, 2, 3 was pretty much confirmed with Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, and Virat Kohli, of course. So that's where the confusion was. That's where there was a lot of discussion. Nobody was sure. I'm sure even Rahul Dravid, Jamie, also I'm sure even he was not pretty confident about it. So one of the reasons why I think he had to go through those criticism, and it's a part and parcel of the game. I mean, everyone, Murli Karthik or everyone has gone through. Me and every single, even Sachin Tendulkar has gone through. Virat Kohli a couple of years back, he went through criticism for not scoring those hundreds, where he took a lot of time, a lot of months to score his 100. He was not in form. But I think it's just a phase, isn't it? And they've really come out of it superbly well. And they've been enjoying each other's company, complementing one another, especially when it comes to fast bowling. I think they've been terrific. I think,
Karthik?
Mohammad Siraj.
We'll come to the bowling in just a bit. We'll come to the bowling in just a bit. But Karthik, what do you think? What do you think has actually worked? Why do you think Team India is looking unstoppable? They're marauding Rangers. पहले batting कराओ, पहले bowling कराओ, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. जो आया धो डाला. How did they get to this? Where do you think this transition suddenly happened? They've shifted 4 gears up, not even 1 gear or 2 gears.
Yeah, and then for the last 10 years, I've been watching them closely, because from the time I finished, I've been commentating and move in the same circle. When I say move in the same circle, we are there at the ground and watching them. I think one of the most important things for any sports person is transparency and honesty. I just feel that when you are a person at the helm of affairs, and by that, whether it's a selector, whether it's a coach or a captain, you always want to tell the player whether he's getting picked or dropped, the reasons for it. And I mean, not dropped from the 15 alone, but dropped from the playing 11 as well. Because what you don't want going into a tournament like World Cup is insecurity. When we are talking about everybody is happy around one another, they're all rallying for one another and rallying around one another, it has come from the fact that you always hear Rohit Sharma talk about, we have told them this, we have told them that, and that is a great place to be, whether it's an organization or whether it's a team. If your captain and coach can be brutally honest with you, guys like Ishan Kishan who have done well and are sitting out, Ashwin possibly sitting out, Mohammad Shami, everybody was questioning whether Mohammad Shami would be in the right space of mind when he comes back because he's just taken 5 wickets against Australia. When you think about it and think about it very closely, you just think of what these guys have done. They've been quite open and honest with the players and the group of players they want them. Obviously, it comes down to whom they want around and also the kind of individuals who have responded very nicely. Yes, that's one of the reasons I feel that you can have a great team on paper, just like England was, just like Australia was to start off, and they've kick-started their campaign after the first few games. What India have done leading up to the World Cup is that they've picked a group of players who obviously are in prime form, and collectively they have fired. So the collective confidence of the side is at the top of Mount Everest. You can think of all these guys. You can see how they are. They know what the other man can do. The kind of healthy competition which we're talking about. The other competition is what breeds insecurity. Healthy competition forces every player to be the best versions of themselves because you are actually competing with the other person, not trying to show him down because the team will benefit. Simple things like the fielding award which has been given. Everybody is vying for it. Small things add up to making a side which is brewing and brimming with confidence. And you can see that whether it's the bowling, all 5 bowlers are bowling like it's not about the wickets. It could be that one day Kuldeep doesn't get a wicket, but Ravindra Jadeja comes and bowls a peach of a delivery. Mohammad Shami might not get a wicket, but Bumrah and Siraj. So it's about how they have rallied around each other. And I think it's come from absolute transparency. And you have to give all the credit to people behind who have managed to create that environment.
I've got 2 bowlers with us on the panel, so clearly we've got to talk more about bowling than the batting. But I'm on to quote a batsman himself. Michael once said, if Bumrah doesn't get you, Siraj will. Siraj doesn't get you, Shami will. Shami doesn't get you, Kuldeep will. And Kuldeep doesn't get you, then Jadeja will. That's how the Indian bowling is looking at.
Even Chiku might get you. If they all don't get, then Chiku will get you.
Yeah. So then Chiku or Rohit will get you. So that's what we saw on, at the Netherlands. What's worked here? Is it purely because of the way Bumrah has come back? There are lots of doubts around him. And is it Bumrah who's actually leading from the front? Let's start with you, Venki. Where do you start? What would you pin on as far as the bowling is concerned? Why are we looking so good that we bundle out teams like South Africa that scored 428 here? We bundled them out for what? Nothing. They couldn't even get up to 100. So, those kind of scores, how is it that we were able to do that? What we did with England, 229 mein hum out ho gaye, unko 129 mara tha, ja, 100 runs tumko aur khatam. How did we do it? Why did we do it? And all are different pitches.
Look, yeah, absolutely. Against Sri Lanka, it was just 55 at Wankhede. So another venue, different team. Right. So I think if I have to say one thing or maybe a couple of things about the bowling department, it's just that they're extremely consistent where the other bowlers or the other teams are not. They're hitting the right lengths. They're hitting those. So when I say right length, so you might ask me, what is the right length? So they're hitting that test match sort of a line and length, especially, bowling on the 4th stump, just around off stump and hitting that good length, getting the batsman onto the front foot, where we have seen a lot of batters not able to move their feet properly. And because they're pitching consistently in those good lengths and on and around off stump, they've been asking every single delivery. They've been asking questions, to the batters. And if you look at that England game, for example, when Shami was bowling to Ben Stokes, It was a good length delivery.
Yeah.
He should have come forward. Well, I think his feet was somewhere else, and he was trying to play on the offside, and he completely exposed the stumps, and he was clean bowled. So that consistency is lacking in other teams. I think that is what is making the Indian bowlers very potent, very fearful. It's not that express pace, but then they've been asking questions to the batters and making the batter play every single delivery. And even look at their body language. I think when they're running in and bowling, whether it's Bumrah or a Siraj or a Shami for that matter, when they're running in and bowling, you can see that the intent is there to get a wicket every single ball. And that's one of the reasons why even a slip fielders have been taking so many wonderful catches. Whether it's Shubman Gill or a Virat Kohli, they're expecting. Or Shreyas Iyer, they're expecting the ball to come to them because they know that some delivery is going to definitely move away or come back in, and it might take an outside edge, and it is going to come to them because that is how they're looking. That's how the body language is. That's how the approach has been. And as you said, if Bumrah doesn't get your wicket, Siraj or Shami or the others will get a wicket. So what has been happening is if one of them is not getting a wicket, he's constantly applying that pressure. So that's the beauty of this bowling attack.
So there is no pressure cooker release which is allowed, which any bowler is allowing the batsman to open their hand. And you talked about Stokes versus Shami. That was a setup. It was classic test match cricket, where a bowler is actually using 1.5 overs to set up a player and then getting the better of him, and who lives. Even with Markham the other day, we saw that with Siraj he got lucky twice, and the third time Siraj got him. They seem to be bowling to a plan. Is that the only thing, Karthik, or is there more? Is there more that you would want to add? Like somehow from when the team says Eden Gardens, we expected Jadeja to step up, and he did. So are they reading the conditions so well that they know which bowler, kaun sa bowler us din chalne wala hai, or kiska haath chalega?
See, the key to any bowling and any bowling lineup is how quickly you adapt to situations and conditions. And if you look at the Indian team, we have played 11 different venues if you include the practice matches as well. And for a unit to adapt quickly is what is crucial. And you want all 5 of them. There is no release. It's like they strangulate. If it's, as you said, Jasprit Bumrah adds a lot of bite to the bark, which is from the other players. But he adds a lot of bite because at one end it's Jasprit Bumrah. And also what happens is sometimes when Glenn McGrath, even if he bowled a half volley, people were respectful because of the fact that he carries that aura around him. Why were people fearful of Virender Sehwag? Because even before you bowled a ball, you knew that he was coming after you. So why were teams fearful of the Australian teams? Because they knew that they are coming after you. So sometimes when even Bumrah bowls a bad delivery, he doesn't get away with it because of the fact that it's just Preet Bumrah. And then you add to that, guys, all of them have adapted so beautifully to every surface. What is the pace to be bowled? What is the length to be bowled? Venki mentioned the lengths that they're bowled. Every wicket, every wicket doesn't require the same length. Sometimes the line changes. Sometimes everything changes because of the batsman you're bowling to. And I think that is where they have been exceptional. As you said, they are like alligators. They are like, not alligators, ajgar. Ajgar, they strangulate. So if one guy is strangulating, the other guy gets wickets. It's not that everybody has to. They constrict. They constrict and stifle and stymie the opposition. That they are extremely confident. That is why you have to give credit. See, one is skill, which all of them have. And one is collective skill, which means that all 5 or 6 of them are firing at the right time.
Correct.
For India, it's a good thing that whether it be the batting or the bowling, all of them are firing.
True. I think we just lost Karthik for a second there. I think Jimmy Paji is also joining us. I'm just going to check. In 30 seconds, we should have Jimmy Amarnath also joining us, and we'll ask him to... Oh, he's there with us. Namaste, Jimmy Pa. Thank you very much. Some network issues. Good to have you with us. This is Anand Narasimhan here. We've got Venkatesh Prasad and also Murli Karthik already on the show with us. Jimmy Pa, when Hardik Pandya got injured, a lot of people said, oh, we've lost the Jimmy Amarnath of 83 in our team. That's what everybody looked at, that role that Hardik was playing. But let me ask you, what are the 2 or 3 factors that has made our team unstoppable? Despite injury woes, despite changing tack, Shubman Gill not there earlier on, then Hardik not there. But despite that, unstoppable. Why?
No, I think injuries are part and parcel of the game. I think when you have such a long tournament, it's bound to happen and happen at the wrong time, definitely. And I think what's the plus point is with the Indian team that the way they are playing fearless cricket, and especially start from the top of the batting order from Rohit Sharma. And I think the planning has been fantastic. And that has also been the reason because see what happens when you're a guy like Rohit Sharma, top of the order, when he goes and attack the opposition, I think it's created doubt in the mind of the bowlers to what length to bowl, whether to bowl short or bowl up to him, and they would do that, that he would hit them all over the ground. So I think whatever anybody coming into bowl next, probably bowl on a defensive line, defensive length, and this is what they were doing. And that suited the Indian batting. And then when you have a guy like Virat Kohli coming and in full form and all that, and then Iyer is contributing, and then everybody, I think, coming and coming good at the right time. And I think we shouldn't forget that we are playing in India, and this is not the wicket where the pace bowlers are always successful when you bowl at a shorter length. This is what I think they were trying to do. They were trying to bounce, and they would get them on those one stroke. I think that they played in the hand of the Indian batting lineup. And then coming to bowling, I think when you have a bowler like Shami and Bumrah and Jadeja and other guys over there, I think so everybody contributed at the right time. I think the only way you can contain a side and put them under pressure when you take wickets. And when you take wickets, I think they have no answer, and they couldn't really get used to the pace and the spin and the swing of Indian bowlers. So I think these were the factors, I think, that has been the leading thing for the Indian team to be at the top of the table. And it's all said and done. I think it's all over now because all the matches are finished. I think what they have to do and start thinking what they're going to do in the next game. Don't think about the final. It's only one game you have to think about. And then how well you're going to play, whether you continue in a similar fashion or you're going to change your tactics or you're going to play differently. So I think this is what we have to watch and see.
So New Zealand, इनको एक बार तो हरा दिया इस बार. So we maintained that record at home that we are unbeatable against them. But in the World Cup, especially in the knockouts, we don't have a great record, and especially against the Kiwis. At the Wankhede, let me start with you, Jimiba, and then we'll bring in Venki and Karthik also on this. What do you think India needs to do? Irrespective of how the toss falls, batting करें पहले या chase करें, whatever it is. What do you think is going to make us enter that final?
No, as I said, I don't think we should think about the final to start with. To be very honest, just take it as it comes. I think toss is important, especially in the knockout stages. And I feel when you're playing a big game, and I think depends on the nature of the wicket. If it's a good track, I think you have to have score, you have to runs on the board. Once you have that, then you can put the opposition under pressure. So I think Wankhede is one place. It has everything for everybody, whether a spinner or a pace bowler or a batter. So you have to be a quality player to perform over there. So I think India has a lot of quality over here, so has the New Zealanders. So I think it all depends how well you handle the situation and the pressure. And I think everyone has to contribute and do his job for the team. You can't win the game with one guy. I think you have to just everyone has to contribute. Only then you can be a winner.
But teams have got off to starts against our bowling. It's not that they haven't. Pakistan were 150 for 2 and then they capitulated. But England were 50 for no loss and then they capitulated. So there are other teams also that have gotten off to starts. Afghanistan got up to 280 against us, 270, 280 against us, if I remember correctly. Nobody's crossed 300. That's a different part. But it's not that they've not gotten off to starts. And then we've been able to hold them back. The other thing is with our batting. We are 2 for 3 and we win a match. This happened against the Aussies. Not just necessarily in the World Cup, but I'm just saying in the run-up through Asia Cup, we've seen that even if there are setbacks early, we come back. नहीं तो openers 250 मारते हैं तो नीचे जो है 4 और 5 आके कहते चलो हम 100 मारेंगे. We saw it against the Kiwis, against the Dutch, beg your pardon. So Venkatesh, what do you think we need to do right? Or is there a stumbling block? Is there something which you feel could be a chink that the opposition could exploit? It's not that we've come, it's never happened to us that we've been undefeated into the semis. इससे पहले भी हुआ था, 19 में भी हुआ था, if I remember.
नहीं देखिए जी इसमें यहाँ पे ये है.
Can I ask Venkatesh Prasad to chip in, Jimmy Pa, and then I'll come back to you, sir?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Anand, I don't see any chink in the armory here as far as the Indian team is concerned, whether it's batting or bowling. I think they've ticked almost every single box, including the fielding as well, the ground fielding, the catching, and their spin department. And of course, yeah, it's a big blow as far as Hardik Pandya, missing Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya not being there. He would have brought in an amazing stability both with the bat and the ball as well. But then that's how the game goes. Having said that, I think the only concern for me is that if at all any one bowler has an off day, that is going to be the issue for Indian team. Because we are playing with just five bowlers, which includes Ravindra Jadeja as well. One of the fast bowler has an off day, and if he goes for runs, and if the other bowler, if he's economical but is not able to get wickets, then I think the team might cross 300, maybe for the first time against India. So that's the only area of concern as far as I'm concerned. But otherwise, every box they have ticked. They have had some outstanding opening partnerships. Right. They have, whether it's Rohit Sharma, if Rohit Sharma fails, it is Virat Kohli, or Virat Kohli fails, Rohit Sharma. So both of them have not failed in a single match. And even if that happens, the others also have got runs. Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Surya Kumar Yadav, they all have got runs under their belt. So they're high in confidence for sure. And whatever has happened in the past, or whatever has happened in the league stage, or whatever the history might say about the Indian team playing the knockouts and against New Zealand, that's all in the past. That's all history.
So they were playing in that moment. In that moment, Karthik.
Absolutely.
Karthik, final minute.
Final minute, Karthik. Adaptability. I think these guys have adapted superbly well.
Superb. Karthik, Rachin Ravindra, Virat Kohli are all eyeing that 673 magic number of Sachin. So Virat already has 750s. He's matched Sachin's record. You think some magic will be there? We hardly spoken about the Kiwis today, but we will do that come Tuesday. But yes, please.
No, so for me, the only thing I am wary of is that you just don't want to change your mindset, because this mindset has brought you 9 victories on the trot. And thinking of whatever has happened in ICC tournaments, I just hope that the mindset doesn't change, because suddenly you reach a certain knockout game and then you change the way, or you suddenly become circumspect or tentative about that game because one loss and you're back. I just don't want India to go through that. This is what has taken you here. This is what will take you to the finals. That needs to be the mindset.
Very well said. Gentlemen, always lovely speaking cricket and talking cricket with such amazing people who I really, really love. Thank you so much. Fantastic conversation, and look forward to many more as India progresses in this tournament like they have so far. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
With that, we call it a wrap on this edition. Stay with us.
Co-presented by be forced to breathe in the toxic air. Now what remains to be seen as to what new arrangements or schemes can be made by the government to make sure that the AQI remains under breathable levels, because over the past 1 week we have seen that the AQI had deteriorated, which meant that there were a lot of health issues that people of the national capital were actually facing. So the next 1 week is going to be very, very important, especially from the point of view of the Delhi government and the Delhi administration, to make sure that schemes are made and implemented in such a way that the AQI remains under control and it does not become hazardous for the people out here in the national capital.
जैसा दिल्ली सरकार ने कहा था कि फायर क्रैकर्स बर्न नहीं करने, लेकिन उस हिसाब से फायर क्रैकर्स बहुत ज़्यादा जलाए गए हैं दिल्ली में। जहाँ मैं रहता हूँ वहाँ भी मेरे को बहुत देखने को मिला ये, तो मैं परेशान होकर रात को सो नहीं पाया, फिर सुबह साइकिलिंग करने निकल गया। जब से ये न्यूज़ आई थी पराली जल रही है, तो तब से मैं निकलता हूँ फील करने के लिए कि क्या वेदर में चेंज हुआ है या नहीं हुआ है, बट हुआ है चेंज।
ये मतलब पोल्यूशन का ही है ज़्यादा, तो ये नीचे तो बाकी तो सब बढ़िया है। ऐसा मास्क वगैरह भी नहीं लेके आए हम, उधर क्या सब कुछ ठीक है, यहीं पे थोड़ा सा परेशानी है।
after the relief that people of the national capital got just a few days ago after light spells of rains had engulfed the national capital, which meant that the AQI had come down significantly and was hovering in the poor category. Now, post-Diwali, we are seeing that the AQI has again deteriorated. Currently, I am reporting from Kartavya and just move to the frame and try and show you in the visuals over here that another layer of smog has yet again engulfed the national capital. But remember, this is not only smog, but what experts are saying that there is element of fog that is also in these visuals that you are seeing on your screens right now. So yes, the AQI has deteriorated after Diwali, but remember the AQI was already in the severe category at least 2 to 3 days ago, and today as well the AQI is still hovering within the very poor to poor category, but yet it is still very difficult for people to breathe out here. Remember the manner in which the Supreme Court orders of not bursting any sort of crackers was flouted yesterday. There were several cases that were seen out here in the national capital where this order of the Supreme Court of not bursting any sort of cracker was definitely flouted. In fact, the fire department itself had got more than 100 calls till 10 p.m. itself. So it actually shows that the people of the national capital, in fact, the majority of the people of the national capital were actually not bursting crackers, but yes, there was a significant number who were seen flouting these norms and bursting crackers, because of which we are seeing that the AQI has yet again deteriorated out here in the national capital and is yet again in the very poor category. Now today, the prediction from the IMD is that once the sun is out,
hello and welcome to Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. It's the day after Diwali here in the national capital, and it is the same story yet again. Delhiites woke up to a thick blanket of smog. The air quality index in large parts of the national capital was in the severe category. But once again, and this is the tragedy of Delhi politics, that this entire issue, which can be dealt with common sense solutions and common sense, takes the place of politics, but instead what we have is yet again tu-tu meh-meh between the Aam Aadmi Party